Hello and welcome to Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. I am Colred. I hope you're doing well. This is my second video today, but I wanted to address the two big announcements from Plarium and the changes that were implemented in the game today with the current patch that launched this morning. Now, both of these announcements are very welcome. The first is a change to the availability of Primal QUARTZ and Primal Shards in the game. And of course, Primal Shards are how we get Mythic Champions. So the availability of Mythic Champions for all players in the game should be increasing. In addition, Plarium has finally addressed players' concerns about 10 times events and has made a major rework of those events to improve the player's experience with those shard pull events. They're calling the new system the Progressive Chance event, and there's going to be one live this weekend, starting tomorrow. So I think these two changes are going to be meaningful and are going to have an impact for every single player's experience in the game. And that's why I wanted to address them in a second video today. So if you're curious about the changes or my thoughts on them, stick around. I have a quick question for you before we get started. Do you find my news videos helpful? As a free-to-play player, I want to make sure that my perspective is in the community, is voiced publicly so that people have an idea of how these important events affect free-to-play players. And there aren't that many free-to-play content creators out there. But I do know that some viewers would prefer that content creators stick to gameplay videos. So in the comments below, please let me know if you find these types of videos from me specifically helpful. And if you do or if you don't, let me know why. While you're doing that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and consider joining our Discord community. All right, so let's actually get into the news here. So we're going to start with the update that you can see up here, new update version 7.70.5. It's talking about Live Arena and Hydra Clash chests rebalance. Okay, so as you can see with this new update, we are adding the opportunity to earn Primal QUARTZ from Live Arena chests, along with mythical skill tomes and additional Primal QUARTZ from Hydra Clash chests. And now here's the full breakdown. So this is actually really important. They are adding Primal QUARTZ to Live Arena, and they're increasing the Primal QUARTZ that are available from the Hydra Clash chest. Now, we all know that the Hydra Clash rewards were ridiculous when launched. We'll see what the improvement is. We'll go check it out after this. But the addition of Primal QUARTZ to the Live Arena chest is a welcome addition because they weren't there before. As you can see, each month you can earn a limited amount of Primal QUARTZ. In bronze, it's 150 per month. In silver, it's 300 per month. And in gold, it is 400 per month. So you can earn 1.5 Primal Shards per month for bronze, 3 for silver, and 4 for gold. Now, it does say that each player's Primal QUARTZ counter is reset on the first day of each month. So that is a calendar month. It's not the 28 days or 30 days or whatever that the game typically uses. It's actually the calendar month. If you've reached your limit, that's it for the month. Although if you go up in tiers and increase your limit, you will have access to that increased limit for the rest of the month. Likewise, if you fall, you won't have to give any Primal QUARTZ back, but you won't be able to get any more over the new limit of the lower tier. As for Hydra Clash, it does say there are more Primal QUARTZ available and also mythical tomes available from the chests for Hydra Clash. So we'll take a look at that in just a little bit. But for now, let's go into Live Arena and see what kind of system they have for giving us new Primal Shards. All right, so here we are in Live Arena, and you can see that the chests require 35 wins here, and I can earn up to 300 Primal QUARTZ per month, and I get a drop rate of 90 to 120 Primal QUARTZ per chest. So that means on average, I'm going to get about 105 Primal QUARTZ per chest. So I need roughly 3 chests per month in order to max out and earn my 300 Primal QUARTZ. As you can see, here I am in Silver 3. So let's consider what it's going to take to actually get the maximum number of Primal QUARTZ. So if I need 3 chests, that means I need 105 victories. Now, no matter where you are in Arena, your win rate should be roughly 50%. Unless you are dropping down into lower tiers, then you really should be competing at, which some people may do. They may sandbag a little bit in order to make this easier for themselves. But let's say that you're hovering around 50% wins. And again, you need 105 wins for 3 chests. So that means we need to play 210 battles in order to get 105 wins. Now, if you simply do your 5 free battles every day, and then you get the extra battles here, and you get the refill, that's going to take you to 10 battles a day. If you do 10 battles a day and win 5 a day, that means you need to play roughly 21 days a month in order to get your 3 silver chests. Obviously, in gold, it may require more than those 210 battles, and in bronze, it may require fewer battles. So in any given month, you can probably focus on doing 10 full battles, say 5 days a week, and that should be around enough to get you your 300 Primal Quartz. I think that's fairly friendly. It's definitely an incentive to play more live arena. I don't typically play 10 every day. I usually play 5, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. So this is definitely going to increase my activity in live arena, which is going to be great because that's actually going to encourage me to get more silver crests, which will help me fill out my area bonuses more quickly. So another incentive to play live arena, I think that's actually great. As a free-to-play player, increased access to primal shards is awesome, and this is true for every player in the game. You do not have to be a spender to get these extra primal shards, so these are literally just free primal shards that we're getting that we didn't get before. And like I said, an incentive to get into live arena. If you hate live arena, this might not feel great to you, but I think we can't fault Plarium for doing 2 things here. One is giving us access to more primal quartz, and 2 is incentivizing players to play more live arena. Okay, so now let's take a look at the Hydra Clash rewards. Now, previously, if I remember correctly, you didn't even get a full primal shard for the maximum chest of first place ranking 650 million. So let's take a look there first and see what the maximum number of shards you can get is. So it looks like 100 to 135 primal quartz. Now, 100 quartz is a shard, so you now have a guaranteed shard if you finish in first place and do the maximum amount. That still feels low to me. I feel like this should probably still be doubled from where it is. But if I remember correctly, I think before it was like 50 to 75. So this is almost doubled, maybe not quite doubled. In addition, you have access to mythic tomes here, 1 to 2 mythic tomes. So you get a guaranteed mythic tome drop. No, it will just drop 9 of these. So we don't know what the actual drop chance is for the mythic tomes. But you could potentially get 2 mythic tomes, which would be, I think, a pretty juicy reward. So this is a definite improvement. It still feels a little bit weak, and I imagine that the whales and krakens who are playing at this level feel like this isn't enough of an improvement. If you think about the fact that in Gold Live Arena, you can get 4 primal shards a month, and then here, if you do 4 Hydra Clashes, you're getting roughly 4 to 5 primal shards a month. It feels like Hydra Clash is a lot more difficult. Like, this is much harder to get this chest than it is to just win the battles that you need in Live Arena. That's just grindy. This is actually difficult. So it feels like this should be a better reward than Live Arena, but it's roughly the same, maybe slightly better. And that's the very top chest. Let's check out the bottom chest. So here, the 35 million chest, if you come in third place, gives you 30 to 55 primal quartz. So on average, it's going to take you about 2.5 weeks of Hydra Clash in order to get a single primal shard. You still have a chance of getting a mythic tome, which is very nice, because there are players who are playing at this level who have pulled mythic champions, and there's very little access to these mythic tomes. So the fact that this is still available in the smallest chest, the easiest chest to get, is actually, I think, pretty good. So I feel okay about the mythic tomes and the way they've been added here, but I would still like to see Hydra Clash improved a little bit. One of the things that I would really like to see is that every participant should get a reward, regardless of where their team finishes or how much they've invested. It doesn't have to be a huge reward, but I do think this feels punitive to players who are in the lower tiers, rather than a better reward for the players who are in the upper tiers. I think everybody's probably disappointed with the availability of primal shards. And remember, this is the buffed primal shard rate. Okay, so all in all, a pretty good change, a pretty good update that I think is going to be valuable to all players. I feel like the live arena implementation is very good, and it feels right around where it should be. I don't feel like we've been ripped off or lied to or disrespected in regards to the additional value that we're getting from live arena. As for Hydra Clash, I still feel like that's underwhelming, although I feel pretty good about the number of mythic tomes that you can get from your chests. I just think the Primal QUARTZ still needs to be improved there, but the current numbers are better than they were before the patch, so all in all, I think we're moving in the right direction. We're not all the way home on Hydra Clash, but I'm hoping for more changes there in the future. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are these changes welcome? Do you think that they've done enough? Or do you feel like I do, where Live Arena is good, Hydra Clash still needs to be improved, or maybe the other way around? Okay, now let's talk about the second major change, which is the Progressive Chance Shard event. All right, the update says during this new type of event, you can boost your chances of summoning champions from a select pool by up to 25 times by adding them to special summon slots. Every time you summon a champion that matches the rarity of champions in summon slots, you'll increase the chance of summoning those summon slot champions, going all the way up to 25 times. Summoning a champion from one shard type will not affect the chances of getting champions from all the other shards. Also, the increased chances of summoning a champion in one of the summon slots do not affect the chances of summoning a champion from a certain rarity. Okay, so that's a lot of text. Let's go ahead and kind of break this down. Here I have a picture. It's not the best picture in the world. Sorry, I had to use a screen grab. But it says select 4 champions to boost the chances of summoning them by up to 15 times, 20 times, or 25 times. So you have the champions that are available in the top row. There are 5 champions. Now you're getting to select 3 legendaries here. So it looks like you can select all 3 legendaries, and then you only get to select one of the epics. But I think what's going to happen is you're going to have a certain number of champions from the pool that you can select, and then you're going to add them to the pool. Now, you may be able to add fewer than all of them. So potentially, you don't have to add all of the legendaries. You could just say focus on one legendary, and that might work. This is also going to work for epics, and so you can select one of the epics here. Let's say you wanted Venom Mage, you could put Venom Mage in that spot. So the way this is going to work is, instead of a 10 times event, let's say, the minimum chance here for any of these champions is going to be a 15 times chance. So that's a base improvement right away of 50%. It's 15 times chance instead of 10 times chance. That's an improvement. In addition, you get to select which champions you want. So that's an improvement. And then what's going to happen is if you pull a champion of the selected rarity, but it's not one of these champions, the chance of pulling that champion with the next successful pull will increase. So let's say we do, in fact, put Venom Mage in that one spot over there. If we pull an epic from Ancient Shards and it is not Venom Mage will go from a 15 times chance up to a 20 times chance. If we pull a second epic and still don't hit Venom Mage, it will go from a 20 times chance up to a total of 25 times chance. Now that is the highest it'll get. So this feels pretty good. This feels pretty good on 3 different levels. One is we have a base rate that's improved from a 10 times chance up to a 15 times chance. The second thing is we actually get to pick the champions that we put into the pool. And the third thing is every time we miss, we get an increased chance to hit on the following successful pull. It's a little bit like a mercy system for these summon pools. Now, I expect that some people are not going to be super happy with this system because they don't feel like it goes far enough, or that it still requires you to pull a lot of shards. But I'm going to just break it down the way I see it as a free-to-play player. The first thing is that I'm rarely going to have a lot of shards to pull during 10 times events. I don't pull during 10 times events, and I am at endgame. But this would actually entice me to pull certain times during 10 times events, or in this case, progressive chance events, because a 25 times chance of getting a specific champion may be very valuable to me. So I think as a free-to-play player, this gives me another shard summoning event that I can actually use, because I never do 10 times events unless they happen to coincide with a 2 times event. Now, as far as spenders are concerned, I think this is actually pretty solid for spenders as well. It's a significant improvement from the 10 times event that they're currently getting. So if you are a player who ever pulls during a 10 times event, this is just a pure upgrade. There is no downside to this improvement. Does it go far enough? Well, we could always want more. But it does feel like it improves multiple areas of the 10 times event. 1, by giving us a higher base rate. 2, by letting you choose which champions you actually go after. And 3, the more you spend and the more you pull, the better your chances get, which feels Like, it addresses the concerns of whales and krakens as well. Imagine you're pulling for Yumiko or Krisk and you're buying tons of void shards. You've got a significantly improved chance of getting the particular champion that you're actually going for. Now, a quick note here is this does not affect the base success chance. So if you're pulling during a 1x event, just a normal day, you still have only the base chance of hitting the rarity that you need. But when you do hit the rarity you need, then this multiplier kicks in. Now, there will be one of these progressive chance events launching tomorrow, Friday, November 17th, and it'll be going all weekend. It feels like this is replacing the 2x event that was supposed to happen this weekend. Now, you can see the pools of the champions here, and you can find this in the news feed of your game. And it looks like there are going to be a lot of great champions available during this progressive chance event. Now, one of the things we don't know is about pulling for multiple copies of the same champion. So for instance, if you are trying to pull Stultish Dragonbane and you hit, and you want to keep pulling for Stultish Dragonbane, what will the chances be on the second and third try? It could be that there's no additional chance at all. It could be that it resets you down to the 15 times chance. Or it could be that you just stay and continue to progress up the ladder of chances, increasing chances. I suspect it's probably a reset. But it could be a complete shutoff. I'm not sure, though, because they have multiple champions in the pool. So let's say you put Stultish Dragonbane, Snicktrack, and Negmothar all in the pool, and you hit a Stultish. Would that turn the system off, or would it leave it on? And then does that Stultish Dragonbane improve Snicktrack's chances from 15 times to 20 times because you didn't hit the Snicktrack? I don't know. Likewise, if you hit one of the 3 champions, does that reset the chance for all of the other champions? So we still need some clarity from what's going on here from Plarium about this particular event. We may get that when the event launches tomorrow. There may be additional explanation. And obviously, as people experience the event, that word should spread through the community, through the content creators. So kind of keep your eye on this space if you're hoping to get some more information about how this progressive chance event really works. Okay, so those were important updates to cover. I think I'm overall pretty happy with these 2 changes. I think they were needed. I think we haven't gone as far as we would like in some aspects, but overall, when you get 3 major changes in the game, all of which benefit both free-to-play players and spenders, I have to think that's a pretty good day. This is one of the best days we've had in Raid as players since Plarium added the improved champion filter in the roster. But definitely let me know what you think. Do you agree with me that this was a good day, or are you disappointed that the measures that Plarium has implemented haven't gone far enough to improve the player experience? All right, that's it for our second video today. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I've been Colred. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you in another video soon.